It is March 8th, 2026, and I hate to be that guy, but I may have told you so. In a previous video, I mentioned how Max Holloway can have some problems caused by Charles Olivera. He's never fought someone as big as Charles, with someone whose sole purpose in the octagon is to get you down and submit him. Max Holloway has fought someone like Frankie Edgar, who he defended pretty well. He has fought someone like Brian Ortega, who he defended pretty well. He even defended Volk really well. But he's never fought someone as big as Charles Olivera with the sole purpose of taking you down and submitting you. And that's what happened last night. We're going to do things a little bit differently in today's video. We're going to go from the top to the bottom. I was on a flight coming back from Dunedin, and I paid $23 Canadian for WestJet Wi-Fi, and I hope to get it refunded because it was so awful. So I caught a lot of the prelims. It was pretty spotty, and I missed the whole Cody Garbrandt sequence. I missed it because the Wi-Fi was so bad. I'm blabbering on, so let's get right into this. Charles had his way with Max Holloway. First round comes out, and Charles is attacking that outside leg, similar to what he said in the video where he's teaching the children in Brazil BJJ, and they're asking him about what happened with Ilya, and he's like, I was stupid. I didn't attack that lead leg. I wasn't circling. I went in there trying to fight, which isn't his strong suit, but he does have bombs, which he showed tonight, or last night he showed it. But he did exactly what he told those kids in the gym in Brazil. That's what he did to Max Holloway. So he attacked that lead leg, hit him with a nasty blitz combo into a takedown, and Max Holloway just couldn't get up from it. And I know Max was smiling after Charles almost submitted him in the first round. And I know he was smiling, so it's like, okay, this next round's going to start on the feet. And, my crew and I were talking, we're like, that's not super demoralizing for Max. Getting taken down in the first round, considerations of maybe a bad 10-8, but definitely a 10-9, dominant 10-9. And then it happened again. It happened again in the second round. And it's like, okay, now Max needs to win the next 3. He might even need a finish at this point. And then it happened in round 3, and we're like, oh, Max might be out of this fight. It would be legendary for Max to come back, but he's not a knockout guy. He's a volume guy, and he hasn't hit Charles at all. And that's kind of the way the fight went. This wasn't a Daggy Smudge. This wasn't a Hamzat DDP. This wasn't an Islam JDM. Charles was taking down Max Holloway with the intent of submitting him. It just so happens that Max Holloway has great defense. And when Charles Oliveira figured out he couldn't submit Max Holloway at certain points in the fight, he landed huge elbows, huge ground and pound from the top, even on his back, trying to crack him open. Max Holloway's just that damn good, at submission defense. He's that damn good. But Charles was even piecing them up on the feet, and we know Max Holloway's the better boxer. We know he's better on the feet. But mixed with that threat of the takedown that's in the back of Max Holloway's head, it's like, I can't really let my hands go. And Max Holloway's hands did look good for the short bit, but Charles Oliveira was just there. He was like an anaconda. It was nuts. It was nuts. Charles shouldn't fight until he fights for the belt. I would say my matchmaking would be Ilya Topuria knocks out Justin Gaethje at the White House. Ilya then moves up to fight Islam, even though I'll get into that in another video. For the vacant 155 title, Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan, sometime in October or September. Book it. Benoit Saint-Denis and Justin Gaethje, if Justin Gaethje doesn't retire. Anyways, let's move on to the co-main event. And it kind of just confirmed what we thought. Oh, Did my monitor just go out? There it is. Okay, my monitor just went out, but I'm back. It kind of just confirmed what we already thought with Rainer de Ritter. We saw him quit against Brendan Allen, and Kyle Barrio isn't the best anywhere, but he's pretty solid everywhere. We saw that on the feet. He's kind of just a gritty guy. He's got excellent head movement, though. Maybe it's just because Rainer de Ritter's slow, but he was bobbing and weaving on a lot of things. One takedown for Kyle Barrio, and he got it. Decent hands, and Rainer de Ritter's just... he's not the guy. He's not the guy, and it sucks because, if Rainer de Ritter won, you do him versus Fluffy, but I don't know if they'll do that. I think Rainer de Ritter's had enough chances to fight up, so he'll probably fight down. Kyle Barrio versus DDP or Fluffy. Regardless, I think if Kyle wins his next fight, he should be in line for the belt. We'll say it goes Strickland, Amavov, Barrio, if that's the case. Rainer de Ritter's got to fight down. Kyle Barrio's got to fight up. I didn't catch any of this fight. I was on a flight back from Dunedin, Florida, and obviously the Wi-Fi sucked, so didn't see any of this. So what I was told was Roll Rosas, Daggy smudged Rob Font, and I had Rob Font in this fight. I had him 29-28 or maybe even 30-27. But, 16 of 18 on takedowns, cool. But 0 sub attempts? 0 attempts at finishing the fight. That's a fireable offense in my opinion. You have all this time on the ground. I think he amassed 2.5 minutes every single round, and there wasn't a single sub attempt. 8 significant strikes. I'm just gonna move on. I'm not a fan of Meep Meep. Michael Johnson's nephew has been saved. I don't know if you guys saw that tweet, but apparently the Gangster Disciples captured Michael Johnson's nephew in St. Louis, Missouri. And Michael Johnson had to lose by round 2 knockout. And I saw this before the fight happened. I saw this coming off the flight. Or I saw this. Yeah, I saw this coming off the flight. So I guess that last fight I wasn't on the flight for. So I was coming off the flight for this. And I saw the tweet where it was like, Michael Johnson has to lose by round 2 knockout to save his nephew. And I got a text from my boy saying, Michael Johnson's nephew has been saved. And I was a little bit behind on Stream East and buffering and shit, but not Stream East, crack streams. And the pattern with Drew Dober continues. So I wonder if his nieces, Drew Dober's nieces, will hear about what he did to Michael Johnson to save his nephew. Moving on to RoboCop and Bruno Ferreira. I had RoboCop 30-27. And it was one and done. These fellows are 1-1 with each other. Very similar knockouts on both fights. Bruno Ferreira did very similar stuff to G-Rod. RoboCop, knocked him down, 1 follow-up. RoboCop knocked down Ferreira, no follow-up. Is there a world where these guys have a rematch, a trilogy? I think that'd be really cool. These guys are both really fun fighters, so I'd be fine with either of that. Let's pick a couple things to break down. Dante Johnson's an absolute can. He's a 5'8" middleweight with decent hands. No ground game. He's got no guard on the feet. If Cody Brundage is cracking you and arguably beating you as a -800 favorite, something's gone wrong. So I'm really out on Dante Johnson. Not that I was ever in on it. I missed this whole sequence. I had Cody Garbrandt to win this fight, and he did. 2 points taken off for Zhao Long. for kicking Cody Garbrandt in the nuts twice or 3 times or something like that. Cody thrown up in the octagon. I thought the fight should have been stopped there, per the rules. And Alberto Montes is an absolute champion in the making. He started off cold, but really started picking it up. And the broadcast was talking about this this triangle, or not a triangle, this anaconda choke that he does. And it was, it was disgusting. You know, Ricky was out in like 4 seconds. And he does it a special way. Dare I say, shot at the rankings? Like, you might have to shoot this guy to the moon, man. Super legit. Super legit. Yeah, I think that's kind of all I wanted to. Rodolfo Bellato got a knockout. So it's really funny. But that's kind of all I wanted to go over for this one. Another video coming out really shortly. So if you see I'm wearing the same stuff, I'm in the lab right now. I am in the lab. So I hope you guys enjoyed. That's all I got for you. Catch you later.